Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's enjoying their extended weekend. And with that being said, let's dive into some TA. Alright, guys, we are going to kick it off with the indices. Then we're going to move over to the FANG stocks, go over those guys. Then we have the semiconductors, Bitcoin and Bitcoin stocks. And then I have 10 plus trade ideas that will be at the end of the video. Timestamps will be down below if you would like to skip around. If you are new around these parts and you do enjoy the content, just remember to subscribe, hit the bell, and remember to leave a like. That is how we get these videos out to more people. I would appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you find value in today's video. All right, so kicking off with SPY's weekly time frame, I am going to point out you closed out with a hammer candlestick. You know, whether you disagree with that or not, whatever this candlestick is, it's bullish. All right, psychology of this candlestick is that you did have sellers getting their chance. You know, you had your chance to turn things ugly. What happened? By the end of the week, buyers took control back. All right, they said take the power back, and now it does look like we are about to be pushing all-time highs. Finally, we're coming down to the daily time frame, and I will point out we have just about 2 weeks of consolidation here. So right, 9 trading session here, and that is all coming to a conclusion right on Friday. All right, now we also do have the monthly time frame over here coming to a close on like Friday. So you know, Friday's close there, pushing up to a new high, like a new closing high, did also bring this monthly candlestick up to a new closing high. Increasing volume here, pulled back to the 9. This monthly look, guys, it does not look like we're going to be getting a bearish September or the coming months in general. They're probably going to be bullish months, and that's what, you know, my macro bias, we'll call it, will remain. All right, weekly and monthly time frame remains bullish. Okay, the uptrend is continuing. Probably this week we're going to take out this high, and then we, you know, are open to a new leg up. Now come down to the daily time frame, and I am going to point out, all right, you broke out that downtrend. You had the golden pockets in right here, and then you broke above that, and we were looking for new highs over here. You have consolidated for about 2 weeks here. All right, well, I think this is literally the same as this. All right, you broke out of that guy, you had some upside, and then you consolidated for a little while before having that next leg up. I think that is exactly what we're doing right here, and I could just point to another example right here. All right, you broke out, you consolidated, and then you had that next leg up. So I do think that is probably going to be what we have coming. I'm not going to say things are going to go straight up, but I definitely will say we have things set up across the board, big tech especially, small caps are there with it, to explode. All right, so let's continue here. You got the fresh breakout on Friday. This thing now looks like it's going to take out 565.16, so that is what we're going to be paying attention to. Now, coming down to the 15-minute time frame, guys, we're not going to be looking for a pullback until we get a 15-minute bearish divergence. All right, the vast majority of the time, we get that 15-minute bearish divergence popping up. All right, and before that, we'll get 5-minute bearish divergences. Okay, they don't have to pop up, but they are extremely likely to pop up before we get any major pullback here. All right, over here, it literally just marks some more consolidation, and then you burn that, and you had a bigger rally here. All right, you burned it like over here, and you ended up doing that. All right, so we're not going to start getting bearish here until we see a 15-minute bearish divergence. Okay, that's just how we're going to do things here on this channel. All right, you had the 15-minute bullish divergence here on Friday's low. You swept this low over here, 557.18 support. You had the low of that candlestick at 557.14. That did come with the bullish divergence, and you did ascend into the heavens from there. All right, I was just looking for a test of 559. I think it was like 559.70 something. I'd switched my levels around from what I was watching today on Friday. But guys, it went above and beyond, and now we got a full-on squeeze into the, into the end of the week, closing out the week there. All right, so support. What are we going to be paying attention to? 562.10, 559.84, 557.18, 554.87. On the upside is resistance. We have 563.91 and 565.16. I do think the 570 psych level is likely to be hit this week. So that is going to be a target that I have on the board. All right. I'm not going to have that line there right now, but just know 570, that is our target here. And I think that is probably going to be hit this week. All right. Now moving over here to QQQ. we're going to start off here with the weekly time frame. And I will point out, you closed out just like SPY. You got a hammer candlestick. All right. Now over here, you're lagging. You're still in the golden pocket. So at the end of the day, if you want to come all the way up here to 503.52, you got to take out 488.80. Okay. We're going to actually come down to the daily time frame there. All right. It's not 480.80. I was going to say, put my magnet on there. Right there. All right. You got to get above 486.30. Okay. If you can get above 486.30, that is the point. When you're a prop 486.40, my bad. I'm changing around on us. If you can get above there, you are probably pushing 490.73 in the short term, and then you can make your way up to 503.52. All right. I'm not going to clutter the chart and have this up there. I'm just going to say if you come back up to test 484.43, you probably are going to break that and test 490.73 in the short term after that. All right, you closed out Friday with the hammer candlesticks, just like the weekly chart. You got that, weekly hammer there. You also have the same thing over here. You pull back for the same, week and a half to 2 weeks of consolidation over there that we had on SPY. You did the same thing, except you formed a bull flag / falling wedge over here, and you're now starting to break up from that. All right, again, picture perfect. You're stalling out. All right, when we broke this downtrend, we were looking for a test of the golden pocket. You stalled out right at the, right in the golden pocket. Now you pulled back, and now, you put in a bullish consolidation pattern. It's now looking like you want to push up. Closed out with the hammer candlestick. No, you didn't have, crazy volume there, but I do like how things are set up across the board. So we're going to be watching for some upside above 478.55. We're paying attention to 484.43. And then above there, we likely push up to 490.73, and then 503.52 is above that. Okay. Again, above 486.40 though, you probably are going to make your way up to 503.52. That's that. Support is going to be 473.82 and 467.94. Moving over here to IWM, guys, they are looking explosive. They are looking like you are probably going to be pushing up to 228.63 this week. We already did get above the 0.786 fib the other day. All right. It was on Monday. You already did get above the 0.786 fib, which tells us we're going to be bullish on this pullback because the odds are now that this is likely to be hit. 228.63, which would be the 100% retracement. If you can get above the 0.786 fib, that is when the 100% retracement becomes likely, which is going to be 228.63. Now, here's going to be your trade plan on IWM, and I'll even go over some, the contracts that I'm going to be watching to play this move. All right. Above 220.77, 222.47, that's your TP1. Above there, 224.89, and then 228.63. I like the 220. You know what? I will just come over here. I'll give you guys a little freebie. All right. Just a little freebie over here. We're going to talk about it for a second here. All right. IWM ready to rip. Already got above the 0.786 fib intraday last Monday. So we know odds now favor 100% retracement to 228.63. Price pull back to the daily 9 EMA is now curling back up after 4 days of consolidation. Friday also closed out with a hammer, which tells us bulls are starting to take control. Above 220.77, we have 222.47, 224.89, 228.63. I like the 9.6, 222. See, 222 calls for 9.6. This Friday's expiration, and the 9.13, 225C. I really like these weeklies, though. Take the 222C, all right, on a break above, right over here, 220.77. You get to move up here to 222.47. And that is where you likely have your 50% gain. Push 224.89, there you have 100% gain. Push 228.63, there you will have about a 200% gain because those will be worth $600. Okay, and they're now going for like 190. All right, so get above here. They're probably going to be going for around $200. That is, the contract that I will be playing there. All right. Again, just a little freebie. And if you find that you aren't getting all of your questions answered in these videos and you would like me, to explain things or to go over some tickers for you, or if you just want to come and trade with us each week, the link is down below for the Discord and you can come find us over there. I pretty much do have enough time for everyone over there. So if that's something you're interested in, you want something more, that is there. But yeah, guys, IWM is ready to freaking explode. So that's the game plan this week. Support is going to remain 217.72 and then 215.85. But, we're focusing on the upside because this thing looks like it's about to explode. And I will remind everyone, all right here, 2.5 to 3 years of consolidation. That is what you're breaking out of right now. Monthly time frame, pull back to the 9, and you closed out with what the heck is this thing? Okay. This thing, guys, it's not bearish. I don't know how else to tell us, you know, each one of these time frames, monthly, weekly, daily, they're suggesting higher prices. That's what we're going to be going off of. All right. So that's IWM for you. Moving over here to DIA, guys. On the weekly, you did close out with that hammer candlestick. On the monthly, you have the same exact look as the other guys. We have all four major indices giving us the same hammer candlestick that pulled back to the 9 and held it, and then pushed up to new, well, not QQ, but, you know, DIA and SPY over here, they pushed up to all-time highs. Like, you know, these things are going to be dragging the market higher. That's that. And I think big tech is about to play catch up. We're going to be going over the FANG stocks right after this. So, yeah. All right. And they definitely are set up, guys. All right. We're just going to be taking these off. Okay. We're going to be watching these. Support is going to remain 413.86 and 412.01. Underneath there, we have 408.71 and 406.02. But I am just going to say this thing is probably just going to, I mean, let's be completely real. All right. It's in price discovery mode. It's probably going to continue higher. Daily RSI is overbought. We can see it can get way overbought. We're going to have to see how this one goes. But I will definitely know that it is getting up there. So, I mean, I wouldn't be chasing this guy. I'm serious, guys. Big tech, I'm gonna point out some trade setups for us. They're looking so sexy, it's ridiculous, all right? So I hope everybody makes a lot of money this week. And that's that. Let's just also take a moment and talk about it. As traders, guys, a lot of the time the market is going to go flat. It is our job to acknowledge when those times are, and, you know, we can take on less risk during those times using, you know, smaller position sizes, just putting on less trades in general, only taking A+ setups. There's that. And then you have those times that come, you know, every few months. We had them right, like not too long ago. We already had it. We had this opportunity 2-3 weeks ago. We already played it. All right. And that's what I was saying. You know, anybody sit on a loss, I hope you just made the right decisions and played that. Okay. When the opportunity is knocking, it's our job as traders. We have to step up to the plate. We have so much opportunity all across the board right now in big tech that I'm going to point out that now is that time where you step up to the plate. I'm not telling anybody to get more aggressive than normal. I'm just telling you right now, you had a risk off period where we were looking for that pullback, which happened on QQ. And now everything is setting up to explode, and we're about to take advantage of that. Okay. So as a trader, now is the time when you make a good chunk of your change. And then you're going to take that profit. And even though things are probably going to keep going up, you're going to take on less risk until you get that next wave of setups. That just, you know, A+ setups, like I'm going to point out, that are just going to be setting up across the board. Weekly time frame, larger lower wick, closed out near the lows. This thing's going lower. It's going to take out the low I pointed out not too long ago. Underneath this low right here, 1446, VIX crush is underway. That's what I'm going to be watching for. 1388 down here on VIX. If this thing starts, you know, coming down, rallies, the market is going to rally. That is that. Until we get an hourly or 15-minute bullish divergence popping up here, you don't have a reason to worry about VIX. But guess what, guys? We do have one popping up right there. So maybe VIX gets a little spike here. We get a little pullback on everything. And then that pullback gets bought up early on in the week. And then boom. That's that. It doesn't have to be how this goes, but typically we do get VIX bouncing back when we get things like this. So I won't be surprised if we get a pre-market pullback. Not on Monday, actually, because Monday we have off for Labor Day, but Tuesday. Okay? That's why I reminded everybody in Friday's video, the early update. First of all, that everything was setting up bullishly. Second of all, that we are going to have an extra day of theta decay. So anybody trading options, holding options over the weekend, you have to keep that one in mind. You're going to have an extra day of theta decay, which is good for us. All right? It is good because, yeah. All right? A lot of these things are just getting warmed up. They're fresh positions. Guess what? They're going to be just that much cheaper. Now let's go over these FANG stocks. Apple. What's going on in Apple, guys? You broke above the 0.786 fib. From that point, we knew we were probably going to start heading up to 237.23. Guys, things don't go straight up. They pulled back the support here where you broke out from 227.78, and you found buyers off of there. You had that decently, you know, decent volume, we'll call it. We're not going to call it heavy volume. We'll call it decent volume. It's not looking bad at all. Resistance 230.44 and above there 233.08. That's where you found sellers stepping over here. High of day was 232.92. You know, missed that level by like 20 cents there. Above 233.08, we have 237.23. support is going to remain 227.78, and underneath there, you're back in this range, which I don't think is going to happen because you had this range. Same thing we're just pointing out on SPY, how it's just starting to break up. Well, Apple was a little hint that you were going to start breaking up there because, yeah, it gapped up here. But yeah, underneath there, 227.78, you have nothing until 224.48. That is that. Amazon, all right? Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Are you ready, ladies and gents? Are you ready? We already had one opportunity over here on Amazon. We have another one right here. All right? We get these opportunities setting up, and that's what I was just saying. All right? That's what I was saying. As traders, it is our job to acknowledge when this is happening and then when this is happening. All right? And when this is setting up for this. This is setting up for this. All right? This was a small downtrend. This was a small downtrend. It got minor pushes up to these highs over here. This is setting up for a massive push. A massive rally-rooney. Yep, it's coming. I said it. Rally-rooney. What the heck is it? I don't know. You don't know. But it's about to be crazy. And we're about to witness it, baby. All right, so break out from this downtrend above 178.90, which is the high of Friday. Get above Friday's high of day, 178.90. We are looking for 181.22, 184.75, and 188.65. 188.65 is the final TP because that was your previous all-time high, and you clearly dance around that level quite a bit. So I do expect sellers have tested. I will not be surprised to see a straight up push to that level, and then you consolidate around here. Maybe you push like something like that. All right. I remember that happened literally right over here. You want to see how that went last time? I remember it. You pushed above the 0.786 fib and then pulled back and provided another buying opportunity. This is the same thing I was pointing out on IWM, where if you get above it intraday, all right, you ain't got to get the close above it. The fact that you got above it suggests that sellers they're not stepping in where they should be stepping in. That is the final stand. Okay. If you get above it, it tells you that odds are you're coming up for 100% retracement. So this was your buying opportunity. All right. This was your buying opportunity. We very much so can see that same exact thing play out just like this. Okay. See how you went all the way here, pulled back down. All right. Fell out of the gold, but that would be equivalent to us going like this. All right. So I doubt things go straight up, but this is definitely a move that is completely full on my radar, and all eyes are on Amazon right now. That is that. All right, break the downtrend, 178.90 above there, 181.22, 184.75, 188.65. I like it. Support is going to be 176.80 and then 173.87 if things get real crazy to the downside there. But again, this thing, I mentioned in Friday's video, I explained what relative strength is. Before Amazon had this move, I'll definitely say that one. Amazon was sitting somewhere over here. But yeah. This is a perfect example of that. If you have something that is showing strength here, it's not falling with the overall market as everything else is just red. Well, guess what? When the market turns around, you're now going to have double buying pressure. The fact that, the selling pressure from the broad market was not being reflected in price shows that there is a buyer matching that energy. All right. And no, I'm not a hippie, but let's be completely real. That makes sense. All right. And then boom, you take away the selling pressure from the broad market, and now that buyer is just going to shove prices straight up right into heaven. All right. And that is very likely what is going to happen over here on Amazon. I'm going to be watching for that move. I'm going to be playing that move. I hope you guys make some money over here. GOOG, another one that's like really just set up over here. All right. You got increasing volume on Friday with a narrow ranged bar over here. That doesn't make sense. Something's lying. Candlesticks lying. Positions were taken over there. Regardless, broke the downtrend, consolidated here for, again, that same 2 weeks, pulled back to the 0.618 fib, golden pocket test, and now you're looking like you want to go. All right, you got this little flag action going on here. We got this set up like across the board right now. Another one is Tesla. We'll go over that one in a little bit. But yeah, you got this flag action going on here. If you can break out of there, okay, then you're probably setting up for a move up here to 175.91. All right, my play though over here on GOOG, above 165.03, 168.25, 170.97, and then 175.91 is that final target that you're watching for. All right, I think this move probably takes place over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and it very likely could take place this week, guys. We have weeks here where you do some crazy things. All right. And within a few trading sessions, you could get a 6% move. Well, what would be a 6% move? You're coming up here to 175.91. Boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. That's that. Support remains 163.08. And then the 0.618 fib at 162. Line in the sand for buyers, 159.53. But I don't think we got to worry about that with this week, ladies and gents. No, I do not. Meta. All right. Guys, the fact that you have this ugly double bottom here and you have all of this consolidation here, okay, that's like 7 months of consolidation. This thing is very likely going to resolve up to the upside. You're steadily pushing up here. You're trying to get some buyers, all right? You got to get above the zone, okay? And then you got to hold it. You got to break above 531.49, and then you got to hold it. If you want a full-on breakout here, the neckline of this ugly double bottom is all the way up here at 542.81. From there, guys, we probably have 600 coming, but you're going to need to get above and then base above 531.49. Okay, I'm not sure how this exactly goes, but the setup is very clearly here. I do think we have a better setup over there on GOOG and Amazon, so that's going to remain my focus on these FANG stocks. Tesla's also set up there too. All right, but that's Meta for you guys. 523.86, get above there, 531.49. Microsoft, what do you got going on over here? Same exact thing, guys. You get this little flag action going on here, and I'm not going to say it's the prettiest looking thing, but I am definitely going to point it out. It's there. All right, you got the heavy volume on Friday too to go with this hammer candlestick. I like it. I like the stock. Okay, get above 417.27. You're watching for 421.78, 425.85, and 430.82. I think 430 is incoming. All right, I repeat, I think 430 is incoming. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, support remains 413 and 410.25. Tessie. All right, we got the Tesla. We got it. Okay. You got this downtrend. It's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. You had this massive rally here. You pulled all the way back. You had your retracement. You got, buyers stepping into the golden pocket. It was respected. And now you have pushed up and you've now formed this downtrend. All right. What also happened? Okay. Now I was looking 226.79. All right. That was your top. Okay. Well, now guess what? That's your previous high. You get above that, you set yourself up for that next leg. The next leg could very well go 240, 250. That's the target I'm putting on the board, 240. There's that, but yeah, 240, 250 I think is incoming over here on Tesla. You got your fresh breakout from that bull flag pattern right there on that consolidation once you pull back from that high I just mentioned. But yeah, guys, this thing looks set up to rally. Above 214.71, we're watching for 220, then 226.79, then 233.09. All right. You catch this move right here. Let me actually look. I had them down over here. $5 move, 100%, $10 move. There you go. All right, 45%, and that is on the 913 calls right there. All right, if you are going to play with weeklies, there we go. I already looked at the option chain for us, so there you go. Well, again, another freebie. There you go. But yeah, fresh breakout on Friday. If you can just break that downtrend, you probably have, another one of these weeks where you just go straight up. And that's that. Or one of these guys. I don't know. But this thing looks like it could get juicy if you can break through that downtrend. All right. So I'm going to set my alert for 215. Right there. All right. That's Tessie. Now let's go over some chips. SMH, guys, you got the same exact bull flag looking pattern there. Okay, except it looks more like a fallen wedge over here in SMH. It doesn't look bad at all. Friday, you were getting your breakout. Looks like you're probably going to push back up to 250.85. That's what I'm watching over here. NVIDIA, guys, I'm not going to say this looks good at all. You see where my arrow is? Underneath 118.04, we have room all the way down to 108.80. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but I'm definitely going to say this thing is not one of the ones that is looking good, and I would say it's best to avoid this thing right now. I'm not saying it's not going to run back up here. It probably is. But we have better setups that we could be paying attention to, that we have more confidence on, because we know what happens when these things set up. This thing looks like it just broke down. I pointed out it was, rejecting over here at the bottom of the previous range. Okay. And now it looks like it wants to sell. So, take everything I say on the video with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, this thing is a face ripper. But yeah, I don't think it looks good. That's that. AVGO, how we looking, guys? Again, bull flag looking things. You're breaking up. All right. This is like a little tricky one. Regardless, you have this little consolidation going on and you're starting to break up out of that. Increasing volume. You got earnings right around the corner. Let's see what happens. Okay. So this one doesn't look like it's pricing in perfection, just like NVIDIA over there. The whole stock market was riding on NVIDIA there. Well, that's not the case over here on AVGO. Okay. AVGO is definitely much smaller here. It is not a $3 trillion dollar company. It's still a $750 billion company, though. Resistance 166.85, 169.13, and 172.81. All right. Support 161.33 and 156.40. But you know, again, guys, I have 10 plus setups that we can just pay attention to instead of the thing that has juiced premium. So, you know, I have your best interest in mind. Okay. And that's that. I have my best interest and your best interest in mind when I am, you know, running through these videos, especially these weekly updates. Since, guys, we're, you know, taking a deep dive look at the market here, preparing for the upcoming week. We're looking to make money, so that's what we're preparing for. Right here, guys, you got the same exact look to you, this bull flag / fallen wedge pattern. We're going to call it a bull flag. You didn't break out just yet, but it does look like you want to. You were holding 145.20 support, and now you're pushing up against 148.78 resistance. Above 148.78, we have 151.01, 153.64, and then 157.05. If it does push up, expect sellers again in this golden pocket, but you probably take out this high right here at 162.51. SMCI. All right, guys, so I am just going to come down here to the hourly time frame, and I am going to point out, all right, golden pocket, guys, it really is something that if you put in your tool chest, it is going to help you out a ton. All right. It is a useful tool. And if you learn how to use it, which, you know, I will definitely show you 5 to 6 days a week, how I use it on a consistent basis on almost every single ticker, if not every single ticker I watch, over here on this YouTube channel. So, you know, just add it to the tool chest. It'll help you out. Okay. You're finding buyers at the 0.618 fib. Break above 442 and you have nothing really into 459.19, and then you have 478.56 above there. Okay. If you can take out 478.56, if you get above there, you're probably just going to be pushing up here to 595.28 in the end. I'm not saying it happens all once, but we could definitely see a you know, a trending move start up over here on SMCI that takes a few weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. We'll have to see how this goes. All right. You've kind of just fell off a cliff. You got underneath the 0.786 fib from this whole rally, which I don't like, which now tells me that, hey, we have odds favoring down here. Okay. I mean, you know, how I use this most of the time is, yeah, you break the 0.786 fib. Odds are you definitely can come down and have a 100% retracement. I'm not going to say that one this time around. All right, I'm going to say this is your buy zone, 334 to 357. If it holds back, that's where, you know, I think a swing trade is definitely welcome. And that's that. A long swing trade. Anybody could have swung this short and made an absolute killing. That's that. You do have buyers stepping in over here. You also have buyers stepping in there. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a little bounce here before heading down here. You know, I'm not saying down here gets hit, but that's the only place I'm interested in this now that you've broken that 0.786 fib. I thought it was a great buying opportunity, and now I'm going to say, all right, it's risky potatoes right here. But if you want to play in the short term, I just laid out your game plan right there on the hourly time frame. Okay. TSM. Again, the freaking bull flag, dude. Oh my gosh. You rallied out of this downtrend, broke the downtrend into the golden pocket. You consolidated for that 2 to 3 weeks here, just like everything else. Okay, 2 weeks there, 12 trading sessions. Now it looks like you're going to be busting out to the upside, breaking out. If you can break out here, break above 171.54. Okay, I know you're right above there. You got to hold above there. You're looking for 176.82. And above there, guys, I know you got the 0.786 fib here, but this, you know, I remember watching this. I didn't play it. All right. It, you know, can do some crazy things. We've all seen it before. It came back. I didn't think it was going to be doing all that, what it was doing. All right. I didn't think that was the case. But then again, MU also died. MU did some crazy things and now it died. Either way, this thing has legs when it gets moving. That's all I'm pointing out. All right. So if you do start breaking out and you can get above 176.82, you probably do test 182.75 and then 193.47. All right. Over the coming 1 to 2 weeks. That's that. MU, how we looking, guys? Pull back to the golden pocket. All right. And now you're just, you know, building out this little 3-day range here. Bottom of the range, 93.58. Top of the range, 97.69. If you can break above 97.69, you're watching 102.17, then 105.72. All right, that was the bottom of that range. So you probably do get sellers stepping in there. And, you know, somewhere over here, you're going to have price coming into that downtrend. So you probably also get sellers stepping in for that too. Support is going to remain 93.58. And then line in the sand is down there at 90.04. That's that. High from over here. Not the high from over there. High from right there. I'm going to change that. All right, right there. Coming over here to ARM. ARM, guys, play the range. Until the range breaks, play the range. If you can get above 135.41, you probably do get a quick move up to 145 and then 152.55 for that next leg up. I'm not saying that's coming, but I am saying price wants to continuously test up here. One of these days, either here's going to break or here's going to break. We're going to have to see what happens. All right, 125.98 is the low of that range. If it pulls back, that's where you're looking for buyers to hold. Okay, you want buyers to defend down here. You want sellers defending up here. That's the range. QCOM, this is one that just started breaking out. I love this setup. I've been waiting patiently for this setup, and now it's time, baby. And we're also going to see Monday take away some theta over here. And then, boom, premiums are going to be just slightly better for us, all right? 20% cheaper for us because, you know, 1 out of 5 days will be gone, all right? I like it up to 181, but in reality, this is what I'm looking for, all right? You break above here, up here. 185.76 is likely incoming. That's where I'm watching for. But yeah, TPs are going to be 181.08, 185.76, then 192.15. And that is that. All right, guys. So we're now going to go over some Bitcoin. You pull back to your golden pocket. I'm just going to say this isn't looking great. Bitcoin could go either way here. I was just talking to a buddy about this. He was saying this is someone who just pretty much only trades crypto, got a decently large crypto port. Yeah, he's saying his odds are, you know, it's either coming down to 40K or 80K. He gives it like literally the same odds. Why? Because you've been consolidating, you've been acting bipolar as crazy over here. You know, we don't know where this thing is going to go. We just got to follow price action as it comes. Okay, that's really what I'm going to say there. You know, in the grand scheme of things, you had this. I took it off now, but you know, you definitely did have that uptrend. You came back, retested that. This thing looks like, you know, if I wasn't biased to the upside over here, I'd definitely say it just looks like it's going to break down. And then I go along my way. All right. And I'm only saying it could go either way because I got that bias. So I'm just going to say the thing does look like it's going to be breaking down. But if buyers are going to defend, it's going to have to be right here at 58K. If you get under 58K, okay, get a daily close under there, you're probably revisiting 56,500, 56.5K, and then 52.884. All right, 52,884. Resistance is 59,313, then 60,212, 61,809 above there. Let's talk about some miners. They have trolled your boy. All right, and I debated cutting the other day, but I'm just gonna say right now, yeah, that these things are trolls, and I was just saying, like, you know, it could go either way. Things are right where, you know, buyers are going to step in. Here's that. So that's kind of what I was thinking. You know, I'm not going to say any of these things look good. We got big tech looking like insane. All right. We got some trade setups to focus on. I'm just going to say it was the miners. It's now not the miners. The miners have completely, you know, changed the look of these charts, and they're looking mighty ugly right now. All right. So that's why I said what I said about Bitcoin. It can go either way, and these things will follow suit. All right, like look at this weekly candlestick. It does not look good. All right, you had the downtrend. You weren't respecting the downtrend once broken on the retest. You now, you know, returned all the way down here. Take away this. This is literally the 0.618 fib from this, you know, whole little bounce we had here. And most of that move was all in one day. All right, I think we had a $30 move, $36 move. Okay, you know, this thing has slowly been consolidating and then pulling back here. So yeah, I acknowledge you had the impulsive move over here, but then again, you also gapped down and you closed the day down still 7%. So I'm going to say this thing looks, you know, the miners just look butt ugly to me, and there's no reason to really pay attention to them right now. I just don't, I'm not going to give them weight. All right. They're not going to weigh on my mind. That's that. But yeah, 180.50 right here at the 0.618 fib underneath there. You're watching 172. you can't hold 172.786 fib, you're watching for 161.13 to be tested, and that's that. The other RSI will probably get oversold if that is the case, and then we'll look for a buy setup. That's that. Mara, all right. I wish I just kind of took all the profit, but you know, it is what it is. The thing was looking gnarly. The thing is now looking like a piece of poop. So that's that. Rejected here at the weekly 9. Pulling back here. We have the golden pocket we could pay attention to between 1560 and 1630. All right. Watch 1628 support. But, you know, again, I think we got a lot better, you know, setups to focus on than this. I know, you know, it had the downtrend break and it's kind of just consolidating. But at the end of the day, I just pointed out how Bitcoin and Coin and CLSK are looking. They're looking butt ugly. Mara's probably going to follow suit. All right, so that's that. MSTR, you're holding this little range. You had a false breakout there. You know, had sellers stepping at the golden pocket, 0.618 fib there, as well as 150.77 resistance. Okay, that's where you broke down from. We were looking for sellers there. Okay, you had a very clean move here. Hope anybody took money, you know, made money off that, took that play. But now you've returned to the bottom of the range here. All right. Underneath 129.22, we have 120.23, and that's going to be where the 0.618 fib is. You got to hold 113. You're coming back and you're revisiting 101. That's that. On the upside, resistance remains 142.16, then 150.77. All right. Now we're going to go over DDOG, Datadog. This is just a little request, so I will do it. Guys, I will not be doing requests in the videos, but I like this person, so I will be doing that. And yeah, it's not too bad set up, so that's that. But just know, guys, if you do want ticker request, that is going to be in the Discord. Like I said earlier, I definitely have enough time to tend to everybody in there. And yeah, so, you know, if you want ticker requests throughout the day, I will get to them literally as soon as I see them. And then you can have more informed decisions over there. But I will do this one right here. All right, pull back to the golden pocket. I like how it's looking. You had this inverse head and shoulders breakout over here. All right, I think in the end you are going to be pushing up here. I'm going to point out. All right, golden pocket is going to be there. This is the zone that I'm going to be. I mean, I'm not going to be watching this, but this is where I would be looking for sellers. I'm not going to play Datadog. I hate the premiums over here. I had a bad time. Where was it? Yeah, it's somewhere in this 2022 mess. I had a bad time over here with Datadog, and I haven't touched it since. All right. But I do think the setup is clearly there. All right. Break above 117.86. You have a clear shot at a move to 123.91. That's that. That's going to be within this golden pocket as well. This thing's honestly looking pretty sexy, but, you know, it's just not my cup of tea. That's Datadog. Now, guys, we're going to get into these trade setups. We have 14, it looks like, that we have for you guys. And we already covered some of these. Top watch this week, Amazon. All right. I would say clear as day. This wants to break out. This is probably going to be pushing up to 188.65 this week. I already went over earlier. All right. But I'll just run through it one more time quickly, just so it's nice and organized. All right. Downtrend. Look for the downtrend break and a break of 178.90. Then you look for 181.22, 184.75, and then 188.65. From there, you look for sellers, guys. Okay, I already pointed out how it, you know, it could go exactly like this, where you push up to the 0.786 fib, get slightly above there, get sellers stepping in there, and then we get another buying opportunity. And it could pull back to that breakout level right here. That's picture perfect. All right, but this is top watch, increasing volume on the day with the wide body green bar. It's going to bust. All right, weekly time frame closed out with this hammer. It also looks like it wants to bust. That's that. GOOG, we already did go over this one, but again, this is something I'm going to be paying attention to. This on the focus list this week. Guys, you pulled back after breaking that downtrend over there. You really didn't do much. You had, you know, 4% there. Okay, we're looking for a move up to 175.91, and I do think it is right around the corner. It's probably coming this week. Not saying all at once, but it probably starts this week. Maybe even finishes this week. We'll see. We'll see how this all goes. All right. Things are looking pretty explosive. Breakout from that downtrend. Okay. And you probably do start pushing up here. And at least you're pushing up here to 170.97. Okay. Breakout downtrend. You're probably coming up to 170.97. But just break above 165.03. We're going to be paying attention to 168.25, 170.97, then 175.91 above there. That's that. QCOM. We already mentioned it before, all right? But this is a setup that I've had my eye out for you know, a pretty long time over here. I started watching over here, and you know, it's kind of just forming into, we had one setup to play, we have two set up now. All right, so this is round 2 over here, and I do think this thing is probably going to start pushing up this week up to 185.76. Not saying it happens all in one day, but that is only a 5% move. This thing very easily can move that 5%. That is 9% right there. All right, in, what is that, 4 trading sessions? Yeah. So we very easily can see that move, and in the end, all right, I think it's probably going to push up to 190 up here, maybe even, you know, around that 200 mark up here. That is very clear where you broke down, and you know, you kind of do have this over here. I just didn't put it that way because that's already by this gap fill that I am going to be using as a TP. But that's that, guys. Beautiful, you know, bull flag setup, range breakout setup going on here after this, you know, 2 weeks of consolidation after that downtrend break. And, you know, you already retraced the whole move here. You can see on the weekly time frame. All right, this setup is kind of immaculate, and I've been waiting for it, and it's finally time, ladies and gents. That's QCOM for you. IWM, this is also top watch this week. All right, this is going to be a money printer. If we, you know, we probably can get a move going like that again. I'm not saying it happens, but I am definitely saying that it's possible there. Okay, on this day, you broke above the 0.786 fib for that, and your downtrend there. Okay, over here, you did so. I'm looking for 222.47, 224.89, and then 228.63, all on the break above 220.77. So that is your trigger level, 220.77. Get above there, 222.47, 224.89, 228.63. I already talked about the premiums earlier in the video, so you can go back to that if you would like. All right, support remains 217.72, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about an upside setup. Tesla, I know we already mentioned it, but again, break above 214.71. We're watching 220, 226.79, and then 233.09. All right, those are the short-term targets here. In the end, 240, 250 is likely to be hit over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Just got to break out of this downtrend. That's that. HIMS, this is one that, you know, I'm going to say right here, it's at the perfect spot for buyers to start stepping in. You got the daily, it looks like a bullish divergence, but regardless, daily RSI is oversold. It looks pretty similar to what you got going on over here. Okay, I'm just gonna, you know, go like that real quick. Okay, then we're gonna hit control. We're gonna just make a new one right there. Okay, notice how you slightly undercut that here, just like that. Slightly undercut it, just like the last time. Daily RSI has the same exact pattern. All right, you came down for, you know, double bottom looking thing there. Okay, and now you're in this falling wedge pattern. You're at the 0.786 fib. Quite frankly, the thing looks like it could start a comeback story right here, right now. All right, right here, right now. Yes. All right. I know it doesn't look so pretty over here on the weekly time frame. The setup is surely there. Okay, so you break above 1535, you're probably going to close that gap at 1593. And above there, we're going to be watching 1761. If you can break above 1761, that is when this thing likely just starts pushing up here to 2110. All right, if we just take the golden pocket here. All right. That starts right above 2110. So this is my target in the end. So I'm looking for a break of here. All right. For a move up to here. And that is that. I guess we'll just have 2 alerts. Why not? I'll preload the alerts on us. All right. But yeah, it all does start down here. And quite frankly, guys, I'd say the best move here, if you are going to take this one, no financial advice will be given on this channel, but if you are going to take this one, the best play here is to take it right where it's at, you know, buy some time and then risk 14 bucks. All right. That gives you some leeway. Sometimes it comes down to the 0.786 fib and just bounces right back. That gives you some leeway there. Okay. It's at 14.25 right there. $14 can be used as your risk level. And at the end of the day, you are, you know, at risk to reward. It's certainly there. It is certainly there. Get rid of that freaking magnet. That thing pisses me off sometimes. Come down here. All right. And in the end, massive risk to reward right there. Okay. And, you know, I don't talk about risk to reward a lot, but I am just pointing out, okay, this is your risk and this is the reward. Boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. That's that. All right. Target. That is the next one we're going to be paying attention to. I am going to point out the setup stems from the weekly time frame. We are bullish on this pullback. In the end, is probably coming up here. That is what we're going to be buying this pullback for. But we do have a short-term setup that we're going to be actually playing in the short term. So, you can, swings are welcome down here, but I'm just going to be playing these levels in the short term. But yeah, if you want, long term, guys, this thing clear as day has a setup here, and I'm not saying it's going to be making that move, but long term on this pullback, hey, I'll take the short term entry. You take the long term one. There's that. No financial advice, but that's your 80%. And in the end, I do think you're probably going to be running back up here. You just got to start breaking out here. Okay, let's put back on the magnet there. We'll go right there. All right, so that's that. On the weekly time frame, inverse head and shoulders pattern. This pullback is a buying opportunity. You had that fresh downtrend break. We already played it once, target. All right, we're doing it again. On the pullback, we are watching 145.30 to 148.64. The confluence down there is kind of crazy, right? You got the, downtrend break and retest. If you pull back over here, it's going to be right over there in the golden pocket. You're also going to have the 0.618 fib right here with, golden pocket is right below. Okay. So, this is your buy zone over here on target. And again, this is really what you're looking at. Again, I don't talk risk to reward. But, this is kind of, not too bad here. It is not too bad. Okay. So you're looking at something like that, but in the end, you probably do get something like that. All right. The weekly time frame does suggest this thing's probably going to, after this pullback, continue higher. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So that's really ideal over here. 145.30 is the best possible entry. Like, that's spot on right there. That's where all the confluence is. You have the downtrend retest right below 0.618 fib. You have bottom of this demand zone right here, your breakout zone. All right. And yeah, it's looking real good. TRM, it's another one I'm watching on the pullback here. Okay. I was pointing this out. You got this ugly double bottom going on here. This thing, all right, has a neckline right here. Okay, this is the zone right here. That's what we're using as a neckline. You haven't been able to get a daily close above it. That's okay. We're going to have one setup here to play. We're going to have one setup when you get a daily close above there. Guess what? Pulling back into the golden pocket after stalling out at the neckline of that ugly double bottom. Okay, and I am also going to point out you now have an inverse head and shoulders pattern going on over here. All right, so you got that going on. You got that going on. You already have that being your head. You have a left shoulder. You have a right shoulder. You pull back into the golden pocket starting at 247.40. I like it. All right. Best possible entry is a downtrend break and retest here. All right. Like, breakout, retest right there. It's going to be anywhere from, 240. Yeah, we're going to call it 242. It depends where you do it. All right. If we do it all the way on Friday, yeah, 242 up until like 244. That's the best possible entry. And then you'd be risking 240, 240.50, we'll call it. But, you really could just risk 240 at that point. And again, you're risking that for a move up here. The setup kind of is definitely there. And we're definitely going to be, we're definitely going to be playing this guy if given the opportunity. And I think we are going to be given that opportunity. I already set the alert over there. No need to set another one. But that's that, guys. That is this move right here. And, put the magnet back on. I keep toggling it on and off. Enter here, exit here, or exit 2/3 here, exit, 1/3 here. And then you got a breakout here, get a daily close above. Then we can play short-term contracts. And we can, be quick with our gains over there with taking profits. Okay. So that's why I said two setups. But, this is the first one we're paying attention to. The first one was actually, we had a false breakout over here and then you had this going on. But you had earnings juicing up premium. So I decided to not play it. And now premiums are not juiced. So I like it. Netflix. All right. You have this range. You have a little bull flag action going on here. Okay. That is what I'm talking about. This thing looks like it is about to be having another leg up. You're ranging between 799 and 678.97. Break and retest. All right. This thing is probably going higher for that next leg up here. The high you reached over there the other day, Tuesday, August 20th, was 711. Above 799, you're watching for 711. But in reality, guys, I think this thing is heading up to anywhere between 730 to 750. That's what I'm looking for. PayPal. All right. I just want to point out big head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders pattern breakout. That's a year and a half right there. All right, so you got a year and a half of breakout, a little over that, but year and a half of breakout there. And guess what? You've only broken out here for 3 weeks. I doubt this thing is going to consolidate for a year and a half like that in that reversal pattern. And then you're just going to break out for, like, 2 to 4 weeks. Probably not. We're bullish on this pullback on the weekly time frame. You can see exactly what I'm watching. You also had this range here. So if you pull back to 68.21, top of that range, that's where I'm bullish off of. That is where I would definitely be taking that PayPal entry for a move up to these following levels up there. All right, so that is that PayPal. TLT, all right, I'm not playing this guy, but I'm just definitely going to point out, all right, we pointed out the breakout over here. We pointed out the buying opportunity here and here. I believe both happened from the golden pocket. We actually had 3 golden pocket tests in a row, and that's why I was saying earlier, guys, just add it to your tool chest. It will serve you well. All right, on almost every single ticker you apply it to, it will serve you well. All right, it's not rocket science. It's really not rocket science at all. I will just point out right here, rally, pullback, golden pocket. Remove that one. Rally, pullback, golden pocket. I think that's where I played it right there. I don't think I played this. All right, we're going to remove that one. Rally, pullback, golden pocket, rejection at the downtrend. Like, this thing was set up. It's so freaking beautiful. All right, and now you've ascended into the heavens over here. All right, and at the end of the day, you're probably going to break above 157 and run to 103.95, but it all starts down here. All right, so you want to see buyers defend the zone down here. All right, 95.23 to 96.40. That is what we're paying attention to. All right, and I'm talking swings. I'm not going to be short-term trading TLT over here. I do it sometimes, but now it's not one of those times. I do think it is, setting up here to go a lot higher, but over, the course of a while. Okay, we're talking months. TLTR, I'm going to point out, you hit it with the break and retest this week, closed out with the bullish candlestick. You do have a little volume on the week, though. But you do have increasing volume over there on Friday. I do have to assume this thing is probably going to be pushing back up these highs at 33.13. All right, so not the most defined trade idea right here. We had plenty of those before where I talked in detail, guys. Let's just look at it this way. If we have 10 trade ideas, you guys have 2 per day. All right, you have plenty of things to pay attention to. There's no shortage. That's that. Tell your friends. All right, but yeah, 33.13 is probably going to be tested this week. DJT, again, I'm not going to give a lot of detail here. I am just going to, remind everyone, hey, daily RSI was oversold. You got this big rally here. I thought it was going to turn into something bigger. You did not. All right. And now it is oversold again. And you have a bullish divergence. So that is something to point out right as you're at support. Bounce back from here. You're looking for a move up to 22.55. And then, we're going to take that off. Next level up there, 24.83. D King. All right. This is one we called out all the way back over here. Okay. And then we were saying profits shall be taken right here into our zone. Now, we did end up getting above there, and you are flipping the script over here. On the weekly time frame, this thing doesn't look bad at all. It looks like you got a comeback story loading. All right. So we could see you closed out with increasing volume with this hammer on Friday. And it does look like you are going to be pushing back up. Now, above 34.40, you're watching 35.30, and then 36.64, and then 37.81. All right. Expect sellers at all of those levels. Those are going to be TPs if you are trading this thing in the short term. All right. And that is that. But, in the broader term, okay, over the span of a few weeks, I think this thing probably ends up at $40, 40.03. That is the high of this candlestick right there. So that's, my target over here for Dig King. All right, guys, that is what I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekly update. I really do. I appreciate your time. I know, these are longer videos. I get it. I completely understand. I got to record them. At the end of the day, I do like recording them because, I get to do my own, weekend prep for the upcoming week. I already, I did that all morning, though, over there in the Discord. But yeah, I do genuinely enjoy these videos, and I enjoy spending time with you guys going over these charts. All right, so let me know if you feel the same. If you did like the video, if you did enjoy the video and you found value in the video, please remember to leave a like. It does definitely help us out. And again, if you feel your questions weren't answered, or you want more focus there, Discord link is down below. I have time for everyone, and Yeah, I'd say there probably is about 40 to 50 chart updates per day over there in that guy. And that's that. All right. With that being said, everybody have a lovely rest of your long weekend. Happy Labor Day and peace. Oh, and also, all right, go follow the Twitter if you're not already following the Twitter. I will be, over on Twitter every single day. I'll be posting at least 3 charts. On the weekends, I'll hit it with some chart storms and we'll do what we did today. And I will just point out a crap ton of setups for us to watch going into the coming week. So yeah, link is also down below over there. It's the first link in the description. And yeah, I'll see you over here. That being said, peace.